Hello children, we are discussing chapter 10, the living organisms and their surroundings. In this chapter, we are discussing the various kind of terrestrial habitats. The habitat in which an organism lives on land, that is known as terrestrial habitat. In my previous video, I explained to you about the terrestrial word. Terrestrial word is taken from a Latin language word that named as terra, T-E-R-R-A, that means ground. The organisms which lives on the land, on the ground, are known as terrestrial organisms, and their habitat is known as terrestrial habitat. In this, we have discussed about the deserts. The desert is also an example of terrestrial habitat where various plants and animals used to live. The conditions, the environment, the climatic conditions of that desert is very harsh. Throughout the year, it will remain a large temperature, high temperature there, as well as a very little rain or water is available. So the variety of plants and animals is not there. The plants usually which grows there is cactus, about which we have discussed in detail, that it has thick and fleshy stem that stores water. Its leaves are reduced to spines so that transpiration can be reduced. So that were the adaptations in the plants as well and in the animals as well we have discussed. In this video, we'll move further and discuss the next terrestrial habitat, that is mountain habitats. Mountains are high altitude things which are present on the earth's surface. Mountain habitat are the habitats which usually remain cold and windy throughout the year. It will remain cooler even in the summers. जो mountains है बच्चे वो summers में भी ठंडी रहती है. They will remain cooler even in the summers as well. So the temperature will remain very low in these habitats बच्चे. But a variety of plants and animals are found in the mountain habitat. Mountains habitat varies with altitude as well. Why? Because as we move higher in the altitudes, as we move in the greater altitudes, as the height keep on increases, the temperature keeps on decreasing, as well as snowfall will also comes into play. In the month of January, December, there is a lot of snowfall in these mountain regions. So due to that, a variety of different plants which can sustain in that particular habitat only will find there. So first we will discuss the adaptation in plants which are found in that. Multiple plants like sal, teak, pine are found in those mountain habitats. The trees like pine usually grows on the slopy side of the mountain. They usually grow down the slope. Why? Because whenever rain takes place on the mountains are slopy like this. The rainwater will not stand on the upper regions. The rainwater will come down the slope. So the amount of water is quite less. The amount of water which is available for the trees or the plants is very less. Why? Because it moves down the slope. वो तो down the slope आ गया बच्चे. तो plants के लिए वो available नहीं है. अगर plants के लिए पानी ज़्यादा available नहीं है, तो transpiration का जो loss है वो कम होना चाहिए. जो जैसे desert plants में हुआ था, उसमें leaves modify हो गए थे spines में. पर इसमें बच्चे leaves जो होंगे वो क्या होंगे? Reduced हो जाएंगे to the middle shape like this. इससे क्या होगा? The surface area of the leaf reduces. Leaf का surface area reduce हो जाएगा and transpiration, the loss of water in the form of water vapors through the stomata of leaves is reduced. जब बच्चे leaves ही thin हो गए हैं, surface area कम हो गया है, तो जो loss of water vapor होना था वो reduce हो जाएगा. That will be reduced. तो बच्चे जो थोड़ा बहुत पानी अवेलेबल होगा ट्रीज उससे ही ग्रो करेंगे, क्योंकि सारा जो रेन वाटर होता है, रेन इज प्लेंटी ऑफ रेन विल बी देयर इन द माउंटेन रीजन्स, बट सारी जो रेन वाटर होगा बच्चे दैट विल मूव डाउन द स्लोप. सो टू रिड्यूस द लॉस ऑफ वाटर थ्रू ट्रांसपायरेशन, द लीव्स ऑफ द प्लांट्स और द ट्रीज फाउंड इन द माउंटेन रीजन्स इज मॉडिफाइड टू नीडल शेप, and that needle shape decreases the surface area, due to which the loss of water through transpiration is reduced. Next question. They have thick waxy coating over their leaves, on their surface of the leaves, on the surface of their stem. And we had discussed in the desert plants as well. The waxy coating means a slimy coating. This slimy coating, this waxy coating is impermeable to water. That means it does not allow the water to pass through it. So if water will not pass through it, that means the loss of water does not take place. So this waxy coating also helps the plants to reduce the loss of water through transpiration. इस वैक्सी कोटिंग की वजह से बच्चे जो वाटर का लॉस होना था ट्रांसपायरेशन में वो नहीं होगा, वो बच जाएगा। क्यों बच जाएगा? क्यों बचाना चाहते हैं? बिकॉज वाटर इज मूव्स डाउन द स्लोप, सो वॉल्यूमिडिटी ऑफ वाटर टू द प्लांट्स इज वेरी लेस। नेक्स्ट थिंग, द शेप ऑफ द ट्रीज इज आल्सो मॉडिफाइड, इज आल्सो अडेप्टेड। The trees, the major trees are cone shaped like this. That is the cone shape. The pine trees, the sal, teak trees, they are cone shaped, like a birthday cap shape. That is cone. So, what is the benefit of this? These cone shaped means they have the slopes. They have slanting slopes, and these slopy sides, these are sloping branches, does not allow the water, the rainwater which occurs usually, as well as the snow there. The rainwater and the snow will slides over them. तो इससे बच्चे जब स्नो टिकेगी नहीं तो लीव्स प्रॉपर्ली तो भी थोड़ी बहुत लाइट अवेलेबल है उसे ले पाएंगे और फोटोसिंथेसिस परफॉर्म कर सकेंगे. So the trees have thick waxy coating. The leaves are needle shaped to reduce the water loss through transpiration, as well as the shape of the tree is also modified, and the shape of the tree is cone shaped due to these sloping branches. These sloping branches does not allow the rainwater and the snow to remain there. If they are sloping branches, then those rainwater and snow will slide over them, and that would not cover the trees. Hence, photosynthesis can take place easily. So these are the adaptation in plants which are found in mountain regions. Next we will discuss adaptation in animals. The animals which are used to live in the mountain habitat. We have discussed that the mountain habitats are very cool and very cold and windy. So to adapt, they must have that kind of feature which prevent the heat loss from their body. देखो बच्चे, माउंटेन जो हैबिटेट है बहुत ज़्यादा ठंडी होती है, बहुत ज़्यादा विंड चलती है, बारिश भी आती है, स्नो भी आती है, तो इतनी ठंड से बचाने के लिए एक एनिमल की बॉडी में एक ऐसा फीचर होना चाहिए कि उसकी बॉडी की हीट लूज ना हो. एंड फॉर दैट द एनिमल्स लाइक याक, माउंटेन गोट्स, स्नो लेपर्ड्स, दे हैव अ थिक फर ओवर देयर बॉडी. उनकी बॉडी पर क्या होती है बच्चे? थिक फर होती है, हेयर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं विच प्रोटेक्ट देम फ्रॉम द एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड एनवायरनमेंट, विच प्रोटेक्ट देम फ्रॉम द वेरी लो टेम्परेचर्स ऑफ द माउंटेन हैबिटेट. सो दैट थिक फर, व्हाट डज दैट डू? दैट एक्ट एज एन इंसुलेटिंग कवरिंग. दैट इज, इट डज नॉट अलाउ द बॉडी हीट टू गो आउटसाइड, बॉडी हीट टू लूज, बॉडी हीट को रिटेन करके रखती है. तो बॉडी हीट से बचे, उसको वार्मथ फील होती है और उसे ठंड नहीं लगती, एंड दैट एनिमल डज नॉट फील कोल्ड. नेक्स्ट बच्चों, वी विल डिस्कस वन मोर रीजन रिलेटेड टू दैट माउंटेन रीजन, दैट इज द पोलर रीजन्स. देयर आर टू पोल्स वी हैव, नॉर्थ पोल एंड द साउथ पोल. These polar regions are the extreme cold regions of our Earth, of our planet Earth, because there are very vast glaciers, ice forms are present in these regions. They are extreme cold regions. So there are certain animals which lives in those regions as well. For example, the first one is penguins. Penguins have various features which help them to survive in that particular place, in that particular polar region. Penguins are the birds, but they are flightless birds. They do not fly. Penguins have waterproof feathers. They have flap-like feathers which help them to swim. They can swim in water. Next thing, they have a thick layer of fat under their skin. And fat is an insulating covering. That fat does not allow the body heat to lose away, as well as does not allow the outer environment to affect the body. फैट एक इंसुलेटिंग कवरिंग की तरह है, ना बाहर की हीट अंदर को इफेक्ट कर पाती है बच्चे, और ना अंदर की हीट बाहर जा पाती। तो दैट फैट विल एक्ट एज अ इंसुलेटिंग कवरिंग। दैट फैट हेल्प्स देम टू रेगुलेट देयर बॉडी टेम्परेचर and to survive in that extreme cold conditions, extreme polar conditions. Next thing, they stay together in groups. They remain in hurdles so that they get the warmth from everyone, from each and everyone. So, बच्चे, penguins adapt how? They stayed in groups so that they get warmth. Next, penguins have waterproof feathers. Next, penguins have a thick layer of fat under their skin, and that fat layer will act as an insulating covering. So that's how penguins adapt in the extreme cold conditions of the polar region. Next is adaptations in the polar bear. You must have seen the polar bears, the Discovery Channel or the videos on the cartoons. Polar bear has a white fur over its body. That white fur helps that polar bear to match with the surroundings. The surroundings means the snow. The surroundings of the polar bear is snow all around. So its white fur matches with that snow. It has two benefits. One, the prey which he is going to eat or it is going to eat cannot be able to recognize it. वो बर्फ से ऐसा मिल जाएगा कि prey को पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि polar bear आ रहा है. Second, it can prevent that polar bear from the poachers. Poacher means जो शिकार करते हैं बच्चे polar bear का, इंसान उन्हें किल करके polar bear को बेचते हैं, उनकी स्किन को इस्तेमाल करते हैं, poachers बोलते हैं बच्चे, तो उनसे बचाएगा. तो that will give them a benefit, as well as fur protects that from the cold. ये benefit तो है ही. Next, it has soft padded feet. Feet जो होते हैं वो पैड लाइक होते हैं, so that it does not sink into the soil. The weight of the polar bear is quite high, quite large. बच्चे इतना बड़ा वेट है तो बर्फ में धंस ही जाए. So it does not sink into the snow. It has very padded feet with claws to make the grip over the snow. Next and the last is it has a thick layer of fur as well as thick layer of fat underneath the skin, underneath the upper layer. इसलिए polar bear काफी healthy होता है, because it has a thick layer of fat inside its body, and fat is an insulating covering. It does not allow the body heat to lose. So these are the adaptations in the animals which are found in the polar regions.